Virtually everybody in Hollywood has had a nose job. Almost nobody admits to it, but it is pretty obvious to a trained eye. So in this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 celebrity nose jobs. Now I must start this video by stating that I am not the doctor of any of these celebrities, so I have no proof that they've had their noses done, but I've looked very closely and these are my opinions. Jennifer is the only celebrity on this list who has admitted to undergoing surgery on her nose, but she hasn't admitted that she may have had it reshaped. She has undergone a septoplasty in the past to help straighten out the nasal septum, which can cause problems with breathing. And she said that after having it done, she could breathe so much better. But has her nose changed shape as well? Well, let's take a peek at some photos of her when she was younger. Take a peek at this picture, and then take a look at this one. And you can see she looks beautiful like the Jennifer Aniston that we know, but when you look at more recent photos of her, like right here and right here, you can see that her nose looks like it may have been a bit thinned and a bit refined. Now it's definitely possible that she's telling the truth and that her nose hasn't really been touched other than with the septoplasty. It's possible that this could be the normal aging process of the nose, and the nose can get thinner and longer as we get older, but I think it's also possible that she had a very subtle and very well done rhinoplasty as well. When you talk about the Kardashians, it never really is what have they done, it's more like what haven't they done. And prior to Khloe's recent major image changes, I believe that Kim may be the Kardashian who's had the most work done. So take a peek at a photo of her way back in 2006. Look closely at her nose. She has a little bit of a bump on her nose. Her nose is a little bit on the longer side. Still looks absolutely gorgeous. Nothing wrong with her nose. Then take a look at her in 2014, and you can see that her nose looks thinner, the bump is gone, it looks more refined, and it fits her face really nicely. Now take a look at her in 2019, and the nose actually looks like it is a little bit thinner and a little bit shorter than it was just a few years before. Has she had a second nose job? Probably not. That's probably just the angle of the photo, but I believe that she's had at least one. Now, nose jobs, otherwise known as rhinoplasties, are one of the most popular cosmetic surgeries across the country and around the world. And it can be done in one of two different ways. You can do it in a closed technique where little incisions are made inside the nostrils and the surgery is done basically all underneath the skin. This is how I used to do all of my rhinoplasties in the first 15 years of my medical practice. The second way to do the surgery is to combine those incisions on the inside the nostrils with an incision right across the skin. And that allows you to literally flip the skin up so that you can actually see the cartilage of the nose and change the shape of them under direct vision. One technique isn't necessarily better than the other, it's just whichever technique your plastic surgeon prefers. My number 3 best nose job in Hollywood is one that you probably aren't expecting. Yes, I think Ryan Gosling may have had a nose job when he was younger. Take a look at these photos of him when he was quite a bit younger, and you can see that he's still a strapping, good-looking young man, but if you look real closely at his nose is a bit crooked, it's a bit off to the side, and it's a bit on the larger side overall. Now, like everybody in this video, he looks great with or without having his nose done. And he has not admitted to going under the knife, but if you look at more recent pictures of him, take a look at his nose now. His nose looks more refined than it did before. It doesn't look quite as long as it did before. The bump on the dorsum or the top surface of the nose appears to be smaller, and it may be a bit straighter and less crooked and off to the side than it was when he was younger. Now, once again, is it possible that he has kind of grown into his nose? I guess it's possible, but I think as a plastic surgeon, it's probably unlikely. I stopped doing male rhinoplasty surgeries just a few years ago when I decided that it just wasn't my favorite operation. Rhinoplasty surgeries, especially on men, can be a very difficult and demanding surgery. And interestingly enough, the plastic surgery patient most likely to murder their surgeon are male rhinoplasty or nose job patients. And because of this, I know of several high-profile, big-name nose job surgeons who have loaded guns in their offices as a way to protect themselves in case a patient gets really out of hand. That is a true story. Has J-Lo had her nose done? Well, I think so. Take a look at this photo of her from 1997 and then this photo from 1998. Beautiful young Jennifer Lopez. She looks great, doesn't need anything at all. But now let's take a look at her more recently and compare her nose from 2018 to 1997. Do you see the differences? Well, it looks like her nose has been refined like the other celebrities on this video. It looks a little bit thinner, it looks a little bit shorter, the tip doesn't look quite as round, and it looks like it has been straightened out a bit as well. So I believe it's possible that Jennifer Lopez had a nose job back in the late 90s or early 2000s, helping give her the appearance that she has today that we know is just quintessential beauty. Now, Jennifer has gone on record as saying that she has not had any plastic surgery done to her face, so we've got to keep that in mind. Now, we've talked all about surgical nose jobs, but what about liquid rhinoplasty or liquid nose jobs? Well, filler is now being injected into parts of the nose to help reshape the nose. There are certain things that fillers can do, and there are certain things that they can't. So if you've got a dip in your nose, it can help to fill a dip in. If you've got a narrow nose and it's a little bit crooked or off to the side, it can help to make it look straighter. But what it can't do is it can't make a round nasal tip look thinner, and it can't take a large bump on the nose and make it disappear. So who do I believe in Hollywood has the best nose job? Take a look at this photo of Beyonce from 2000, and then these pictures of her from 2015. Do you see the differences here? Well, to me it looks like her nose has been significantly thinned. Now, I know that Beyonce has one of the greatest makeup artists in the world, a guy named Sir John, and some people say that this is just makeup and contouring, but I don't know that that's the truth. To me, it looks like she has had a very well-performed rhinoplasty to thin the nose itself and to make the tip a bit thinner as well. Like all the celebrities on this video, I think she looks gorgeous and glamorous and amazing with or without the rhinoplasty. But with the rhinoplasty, she does look like the Beyonce that we know and love today. So these are my top 5 celebrity nose jobs. But what about the top 5 celebrity plastic surgeries altogether? Take a peek at this video where I count down my top 5 celebrity plastic surgeries. Some of these just might surprise you. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, and always remember, eat real food, use clean skincare, and only consider actual plastic surgery as a last resort.